What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 7 different altcoins today. In order, we'll be going over Flux, Kudos, Lama, Zilliqa, MOVR, Bone, and JASM. And I'll just be giving shout outs as we go through. If you'd like to hit that like button and subscribe, that helps out a lot, guys. Thank you all for doing that. Thank you all for the kind comments and just constant support you guys have been giving out. It's very much appreciated. I think I'm on the right chart here, so without any further ado, let's get this started. Flux is for Disney is Greedy. We're doing this one at your request, my man. From low to high, bounced right off your 618, beautiful. Came back up to your 382, lower high. I would expect that you do go lower. I'm not anticipating that you'll go lower than this. You might find a double bottom, but I would anticipate that you go lower than this. And if we take that low to this high here, your 1272 is right there at the 69. Your 1618 is right there at the 786. You could see deeper extensions than that, but I'm kind of anticipating that you would find a low somewhere between about 23 cents and 16 cents, something like that. Probably going down for I don't give no flux. Let's check it out on the weekly. I thought I was on the weekly, but I was on the monthly, but that's okay. Bearish divergence to top it off, no volume at the top here. All the volume happened before you're at your top, so just classic. You're waiting to roll over right now. Lower high, I will say, it's nice, and I know I've pointed this out a few times in my videos, like over the months, but can you notice a difference between this top and these tops here? Can you notice the difference? I mean, it's a little different, right? Like, it's not just an immediate sell-off. It's not an immediate sell-off. This one's hanging around. Which means that you are coming to the end of this down move, in my opinion. That's how I interpret it. Don't take that to the bank. It's not always like that, but you're doing different things right now, and doing different things could mean that you get different results, right? It's the most volume you've seen in a little while on KuCoin too, which is a pretty decent exchange as far as volume goes. Maybe you don't go lower. Maybe you don't go below that low there, and you hold prices higher than I was giving it credit for. You do have the 618 and the 618 and the 69 here at 39 cents to 42 cents in that range, which also coincides with these lows over here. Even the bottom of these bottoms is still in that white zone there, so you might hold that. You very well could hold that, but nonetheless, I would think you go down. I am interpreting right now that you will go lower in this low because all you have is lower highs and lower lows, but you might be coming to the end of this. This might be your final flush out. I wonder real quick. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. One more flush out. I would think you go lower than this low, but maybe you don't. Looking weak on the daily. Regardless of how low you go, I do think you go lower. So look to see if you find support in that 39 to 42 cent area. Just because you find support there does not mean that it's on to the upside. You can absolutely find support down here and then come up and then go lower. That's actually very normal fib behavior. Go into your golden ratio. I would expect that you would find significance here, and then you'd move back up to your 382, very classic maneuver, and then come down lower. You might even go to your 786, 886 area, find support there, come back up to your 618 area, find resistance there, and work your way down to your 1272 that way, or your 1618 that way, something like that. Very, very normal behavior. You look for these stair-stepping patterns in the fibs, and I do think that you're respecting the hell out of these fibs so far. It looks like that right now to me. You're finding resistance right at your 236, tipped the 069, held that 382 very well. I would expect that you'd find significance on the way down, so don't get too excited if that happens, but do look for, a very common maneuver would be bouncing off this 618 zone and then getting above the 382. If you can get above the 382, then it might be onto the upside. If you hang below it, then that's just because you get above it doesn't mean that it's on. You want to close above it, right? Just like you got below it here didn't mean it's immediately onto the downside. You closed at it, you found support, and you bounced, had a common area of resistance up here, and now you're going lower. So if you continue this like lower low and lower high stair-stepping on the way down, then I would think that you're going lower. But if you get back above the 382 there, it'll probably be a good thing. So look for that. If you find support here, look for a break above the 382. Really, you want to get above that 236 to solidify it, but we're nowhere near that right now. So just for now, focus on this 39 cent to 42 cent area. I really do expect that you would go somewhere lower, around 22 cents to 16 cents. Somewhere down here inevitably, but You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. I spent a lot of time on that, so let's move on to Kudos now. Let's see, Bittrex. That's a closed exchange. They don't operate anymore, man, and they shouldn't. They just weren't good. You know, maybe they had good people working for it. I don't know. Nothing personal, but my experience with them was not good at all. So it's no surprise that they're shut down. Not that they're like scammers or anything. You know, I think it was legitimate. I just think they suck. That's basically it. But you know, it's how it is sometimes. Overbought, not overbought anymore. You just went straight up. I bet you're going to come down. I wonder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Interesting. 10 weeks in a row where you went to the upside there. Your 61869 over here is right around your 236. Your greater 236, your overall 236. That's why I have 2. You know, this is your macro. If this was to be considered a macro fib, I guess it is. It's multiple years. And then this is your more relative fib. And the fact that your 61869, the golden retracement zone, is right there at that 236, that kind of tells me that you probably will go to 0043, maybe even 00375. Lower nonetheless. Being overbought, coming out of it like this, I think to really solidify that you're going to go down, first and foremost, you want to break below this 382, and then secondly, get below that 50. That'll definitely solidify the idea that you're going down. Let's look at the daily and see how that looks. I'll get rid of this fib. Yeah, you rejected your 50. You came down, sure, you bounced off this zone. You didn't even hit your oversold zone, which is nice, but you rejected your 50. That's not nice. So here you are back down here, getting lower daily closes. I think it's a matter of time before you drop off. I think you've yet to see the strength of this downside yet. It probably won't go down like this, but I think you're going to get stronger moves soon, very soon to the downside. That'll take you below the screen line here. Yeah, but again, the price targets that I'm looking for are around here, around 003 to 0035, wasn't it? Did I have a different one? Am I misremembering? No, I did have a different one. Maybe it was because that's the relative low. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. You could go lower. You could go lower than that even, because that's the immediate low. But let's see. You know, your relative low there. That 618 is right by that 236 still. A lot of emphasis on this 0037 zone, in my opinion, to 0035. You can go below that red line. You can go below this line and still be fine. As long as you're forming higher lows, I'm not worried about it at all. But I do think it goes lower nonetheless. 4 hour looks sad, daily looks sad. That's Kudos. And we could talk about you going up after you found a low, but for now, down. So Lama, I'm assuming, yes, I thought so. All right. So Lama, a Lama coin. Gotta love these animal coins. And it's gone up. Okay, so it has gone up a lot in 2 to 3 weeks. If you were fortunate enough to catch it after this immense pump, you would have had a nice little 216% week there. You see, this is why I use logarithmic, right? You can see this week it looks way smaller, but from open to close it was 1,240%. Here it's 216%. You flip that around and you can see the week before is actually bigger. It bases it off of percentage essentially. It's percentage growth. And the way to make sense of this in your head, if it doesn't make sense already, when you click log, is like if you grow from $1 to $2, that's a 100% growth. Now let's say over time that same stock, it went from $1 to $2, 100% growth in a day. Now it's worth $100, and it goes from 100 to 101. Well, from $1 to $2, that was a $1 growth. From 101 to 1, that was a $1 growth. In value, it's the same, but in percentage, it's completely different. So on a standard chart, you would get I forget what the standard chart is, just regular chart out of log. I just say standard chart. You would see them looking like the same move, 100 to 101, and then 1 to 2, they'd look the exact same. But if you have it in log, the 1 to 2 move would show that it's greater because it is overall greater in percentages. Arguably, though, it would be the same market cap growth, I suppose, but nonetheless different in the terms of overall percentage growth, which I think is more significant. That's why I like log. You can see it here, right? Different. Looks totally different. So not a lot to go off of here. in my genuine opinion. Not a whole lot to go off of. I'm not even going to pull a fib up or a RSI on this thing. You look good. You look like you want to keep going, but at the same time, you are dwindling in volume as you're moving up. It wouldn't surprise me if you found a top. You could have already found a top, or you might be looking to find one pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you go up a little bit higher. Maybe you see this 2272 at about 2 cents. Here you are at about 1 cent right now, but I wouldn't play with this thing, man. I wouldn't play with this personally. I think if you played with it back here, or especially back here, get out, take profits. Not financial advice, though it should be. Take your profits, because if it goes up, it's going to be, it has the potential to do like another 100% in overall growth, but it has a lot more potential to the downside, and you don't want to mess with that, in my opinion. So I would just stay away from that. In my genuine opinion, I would just stay away from that. Let's move on to ZIL. Maybe catch it whenever it comes down. I don't care how high it goes up. That's my style. That's how I do it. That's my opinion. You know, that's why you guys come here. None of it's financial advice, of course. It's all just my opinions. But Zilliqa, right? That's what this bad boy is. Zilliqa. Looking at the chart, the long term here. Because yes, I thought you came around in 2018. I remember when this thing first came out, and it just went straight down, just like a lot of coins that came out at the end of the bull market. You get wrecked if you come out at the wrong time, man, but sometimes that's good, especially if it's a good project. You never know. I want to see if there's anything else that has that same. There we go, Binance, cool. What about USDT? I doubt it, but has more volume. No, not as much. We'll use, I don't know if we need that, though. All that back there. I'm okay with using this. We don't need all that other stuff because it's covered by this. It's like the same. We're just, all we're missing is this. That's it. So it's not like a whole intricate setup here. Bottom to top. Yeah, you're probably at least. I would very much expect that you would visit this zone here. You might see. A couple people have been asking me about capitulation in the altcoin markets. We might be seeing that soon, before the halving, maybe even around the halving or after the halving. But something like that would make sense to me, because you held this, looks like a double bottom, but you've got this lower low still. You're still finding your lows in September, where a lot of coins that were showing bullish signs, they've already expanded out of their lows. I would expect that you go to your 61869 area, probably around 1.36 cents to just below 1 cent. I don't know if he'd go much lower, but that 786 does line up pretty well with that previous area of resistance there in this little consolidation phase, so you absolutely could move down there. Let's get a little looky here. Come on now. 1618, right down there, man. Literally right there. Can't make this up. Oh wait, no, I saw the blue line. On my phone, the blue line is the 1618. I have different colors here. Still, though, it is near its 1886, and with smaller fibs, you tend to see those deeper extensions versus like the macro fibs. So I would keep this as an option too. You could go down to about 0.6 cents, but the immediate focus would be right around just under a cent to 1.37 cents, somewhere in that area. And I would think, being that this is like the low right here, I would think that you don't stop at the 618. Maybe you do. Maybe you get a little fake out and you move up, but I would kind of anticipate that you'd probably move closer to that 6.9, which there is support there, because you do have a previous wick right here for resistance, so you could bounce right off there. If not, you're going to the 786. But that's Zilliqa. Let's move on to Moon River. Is this the right one? Oh, right. I'm sorry, guys. Kudos was for Joe, KC240. Lama was for Celos. Zilliqa was for Flower Child, and as is Moon River here. Moon River is also for Flower Child. I forgot to give the shout-outs. I normally do them first thing, but I forgot. Kraken. What about Binance? Might be Kraken. We're going to go with Kraken. Okay, cool. And we're in log. Good. Top to bottom. And here's another thing too. There's a bunch of people who are gonna say logarithmic is for people who don't know what they're doing, or people who use logarithmic will be like standard charts are for people who don't know what they're doing. Like, who cares? I really don't care. There's no wrong or right way to do it. I think if it's making you money, if you find significance on it and you can make accurate predictions based off it, then go for it. I've seen people who are lethal with accuracy on standard charts, right? I myself find more success using the logarithmic chart. So it just depends on what you want. You know, it works all the same. And I know that yes, it would throw the fibs off a little bit, but technically there are still fibs based on the standard chart too. You know, it just depends. Get to know your charts, see if they respect those zones or not. I just like to leave them in log though, especially with crypto, because we get these humongous moves in such a short amount of time. But here you are at your 0.5, rejecting it. Not good. It's not a good sign in my opinion. You'd want to continue upwards. Here you are finding support potentially at your 382. Yeah, it doesn't look good, man. I think you want to go lower. It's not like it doesn't look good as in it looks horrible. You know, I'm sure it'll go up inevitably, but for now, doesn't look too good. It kind of looks like a descending triangle at the top here, which is interesting. RSI looks a little bit weak. I think you're about to break out to the downside, genuinely. Probably go back to this 236 right around 11.6 cents, just below that. 0.5 down there as well. Yeah, you probably go to your 618. 9.5 cents. 9.5 to 11.6 cents, somewhere in that area. I'd probably think around 9.5 cents though, honestly. Maybe even 8 cents. Because there's a little bit of significance there as well. Little resistance right here, support right here, right? Nothing really right here, but there's some significance there. So I'd say really 7.9 to 9.47, that has my eye, but you could find support right here at 11.6. But that's Moon River, man. Looks like it wants to go down in the more immediate term, if I really had to guess. Weekly RSI looks like it's ready to cool off. Daily RSI looks like it's ready to go lower. Yeah, the 4 hour, you could start to see this breakout of this move today, man. It could be like this week that it really starts to kick off, honestly. Bone for Hoshi. We're going to talk about bone on Shiba Swap. Not about getting boned. Nobody wants to get boned in the markets. I mean, there might be times in life where that's something you want, but as far as like the markets are concerned, that's not a good thing. You don't want the markets to bone you. But you can get a bone. You can get this bone here, and maybe it'll take you up to the heavens. Maybe it'll take you down to the ground. I don't know. Looking at it here, bounce off your 618, found resistance near 382. Very common maneuver. We addressed it earlier, right? You're probably going lower, right? You're kind of stair-stepping your way down these fibs. You can see it, right? Support off the 618. You were looking good here. Getting above that 236 is a good thing, but you just didn't follow through, unfortunately. Came all the way back down, had a higher low, but then you had a lower high, and then you formed a lower low. Now you're rejecting the 382 where you once like found resistance and broke above it. You're finding resistance again. I would think that you probably go to your 786 to 886 zone, probably around 32 to 40.5 cents, something like that. Rejecting the 50 here on the RSI. That's why I like using the RSI with the fib. You can just see how this is absolutely, like this area right over here as far as fibs go, is absolutely different than this just based on the RSI. Yeah, I definitely think you're going lower. 1272 right there. 1618 smack dab in the middle of that zone. I think 32 to 40 cents is probably where you're going. Maybe 40.5, but I think you are going lower. Daily looks sad. 4 hour looks sad, yeah. Again, probably in the more immediate term, you might see a breakout of this kind of range right here. You're kind of doing it right now, actually. Some of the lowest prices you've seen in a little while, so you might be going down right now on bone. We're going to finish this up with JASM. Jazz my instruments. I don't know. I actually don't have any jazz instruments. I guess I have a saxophone, and they do use that in jazz, but they also use that in all kinds of varieties of music. Funk music. I don't know about opera. Jazz and funk are the only things I can think of, actually, to be completely fair. Maybe some like electronic stuff. Accumulation phase, I would say. Looking like you're in an accumulation phase. You can go lower, absolutely, but I doubt you take out these lows, unlike the other ones. I doubt you take out those lows. You might, because I do think we're going to see an altcoin reckoning here soon, but which isn't good for my bags. You know, I don't know if altcoins are going to get wrecked here, but to be fair, you were still finding lows in October. lower highs. It's not necessarily a good look you got going on there. You might come all the way back down to 0.003 cents, 0.003. I don't know. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I would interpret that you would go lower than that, though, because this does kind of look like a bullish bottom. You've got your M here with your W, but it's a failed W. That's not a good thing. That's the only thing. But it does look Adam and Eve-like, which is a good thing. But you didn't break out. You know, Adam and Eve's can fail too. Even though they're pretty reliable most of the time, they can fail too. So nothing's 100% of the time. And that's where you have to be open-minded. You have to be real with yourself and be like, oh man, 9 out of the last 9 Adam and Eves I've seen have only done this. This one's going down. It must be a lie. It's going to go up eventually. No, like don't lie to yourself. And maybe it does. Maybe it does, but probably after it goes lower is what I'm thinking. And don't call this a cup and handle. That is not. Cup and handles are one of the most failed patterns in my experience personally, especially in crypto. And stocks less so, but in crypto especially so. Very bearish candle right here. I think you are going lower. If you don't find support around 0.039 to 0.042 cents, you probably will come back down for another low here. You might form what kind of looks like a descending triangle, like kind of. I mean, I don't really think it is a descending triangle, though it would have that look with the descending highs and the flat base, but you might break out to the upside. Descending triangles can break out to the upside too, so don't be surprised by that, but maybe you do go lower. But I'm looking for lows anywhere from between 0.003 cents to 0.042 cents. That's what I'm thinking. And that's it, man. That's all I got for you guys. There's no winner today. They all look like they want to go down. Nothing looks like it wants to go up, but that's just crypto right now, man. So if you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.